Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka a day. Today's Shloka is Shloka number 24 of chapter 8. Agnir Jyotir Aha Shuklaha
Agnir Jyotir Aha Shuklaha
Shanmasa Uttarayanam
Shanmasa Uttarayanam
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Brahma Vido Janah.
Brahma Vido Janah.
Word for word meaning and translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Agnihi,
Agnihi,
fire.
fire.
Jyotihi,
Jyotihi,
light.
light.
Ahaha,
Ahaha,
day.
day.
Shuklaha,
Shuklaha,
the white fortnight.
the white fortnight.
Shatmasaha,
Shatmasaha,
the 6 months.
the 6 months.
Uttarayanam,
Uttarayanam,
when the sun passes on the northern side.
when the sun passes on the northern side.
Tatra,
Tatra,
there.
there.
Prayataha,
Prayataha,
those who pass away.
those who pass away.
Gachanti,
Gachanti,
go.
go.
Brahma,
Brahma,
to the absolute.
to the absolute.
Brahma Vidaha,
Brahma Vidaha,
who know the absolute.
who know the absolute.
Janaha,
Janaha,
persons.
persons.
Translation, those who know the Supreme Brahman,
Those who know the Supreme Brahman,
attain that Supreme
attain that Supreme
by passing away from the world
by passing away from the world
during the influence of the fiery God
during the influence of the fiery God
in the light
in the light
at an auspicious moment of the day
at an auspicious moment of the day
during the fortnight of the waxing moon
during the fortnight of the waxing moon
or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
So here the Lord is giving details of how a yogi who practices Ashtanga Yoga needs to actually carefully select the time of the year, the time of the day, to decide when to exit the body, to decide when to achieve that samadhi. So the Lord is giving all of the various criteria that has to be met in order for this yogi to reach the Supreme Lord. If any one or more of this criteria is not met, then that yogi would not have been very successful, that they would go to the upper planetary systems and reap the benefits of the credits that they have accumulated because of their practice of Ashtanga Yoga. As we said earlier, Prabhupada states that a devotee does not have to worry about all these things. We just leave it to Krishna to decide our future and our fate. So this whole shloka is about dying during the fiery time of light. So when fire, light, day, and the fortnight of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that over all of them, there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. Prabhupada writes in the purport that it is the various devatas who actually help the soul cross through all of the various barriers before they reach the supreme abode. So the various devatas who are responsible for these various aspects of the material cosmos, they actually have to help the soul achieve that final passage. At the time of death, the mind carries one on the path to a new life, which means whatever it is that you are thinking about at the time of death, the various devatas make those arrangements. If one leaves the body at the time designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahma Jyotis. So for the yogi, whether by accident, even without having achieved that perfection in practice, or he has achieved perfection in practice, then the destination that they can achieve is the Brahma Jyoti. They cannot enter the abode of the Supreme Lord unless they are practicing bhakti, unless they are worshipping the personal form of the Lord in his various incarnations. So mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious time, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death, but otherwise there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for the pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada writes, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. So how do the yogis choose their time of death? Shanmasa Uttarayanam. So we know that this is some commentary written by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So we know that from the point of view of Earth, the sun, depending on the way the Earth's angle is tilted, 23.5 degrees relative position to the moon and relative position of the sun, there is Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. And the whole celestial appearance, including the sun, appears to be moving either in the northerly direction, Uttar, or in the southerly direction, Dakshinayan. So Shri Krishna is not talking about devotees over here. Lord is talking primarily about yogis. What is going on in this chapter is actually a comparison of how one leaves the body between the person who practices Ashtanga Yoga and the person who practices Bhakti Yoga. Remember, the Lord has contrasted Ashtanga Yoga in chapter 6 and concluded chapter 6 by stating that Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. The person practicing Bhakti Yoga is the topmost yogi. So Krishna is continuing with that theme even here in the 8th chapter and bringing certain aspects to conclusion based on the question that Arjuna asks, how can we think about you at the time of death? So what is Krishna recommending? That we have to fix our mind on him. But by doing that, he is also analyzing the path of Ashtanga Yoga. And really, the Lord's goal is to compare and establish for us how Bhakti Yoga is easier. So when he's talking about the process of yoga, he's really talking about the yogis and how they choose to depart. So when the soul departs within the path of the yoga that is described in the Vedas, in Shrutis primarily, that there are various devatas who supervise the pathways that are used by the departing soul. So the soul is under the supervision of the various devatas that need to enable the soul to go to the next level and the next level. So if the yogi is not so advanced, then these set of presiding deities do not guide that person, but another set of deities guide that person. So who are those deities? If they're not successful, which deities actually guide them? That is described in the next verse. In the 25th verse, we will read the counterpoint to this particular shloka. So the essence of the shloka is the yogis have to time their death perfectly. If they do not, then there is every chance that they will not achieve success of reaching the goal that they had in mind, which is to merge with the Brahma Jyoti.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.